Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, we'll be going through scatter graphs. Have a pen and paper ready to take down some notes. Make sure to stick around to the end as there are some questions for you to attempt. And if you want to find your way back to the channel, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with everything related to your Maths GCSE. Let's get started. So what are scatter graphs? Scatter graphs are used to display two sets of data. They are good to use as once plotted, correlation can be more easily found and estimates can be made from it. So we have this graph. As you can see, these values are scattered. Correlation is a measure of a relationship between two variables. So you'll have two sets of data and we can use correlation to measure the relationship between them. The types of correlation that we need to know are positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. Over the next few slides, I'll go through each one of these in detail. So let's go through some examples. We have this graph. We have these points which are plotted. We can say that this is positive correlation, and we know this because positive correlation, as one value increases, the other increases. So as you can see that these value as one is increasing, the other is increasing as well. The next type which we need to know is a negative correlation. So as one value increases, the other decreases. So as you can see that these values increase and it has a downwards slope. The final one is when the points are scattered, and this has no correlation. So there is no pattern in this set of data. Let's go through another example. So draw a scatter graph of this information. We have some students and we have their math mark and their science mark. So the two sets of data that we are comparing are math mark and science mark. What we have been asked to do is plot this information on this scatter graph. So as you can see, student A got a math mark of 56 and a science mark of 62, which will be plotted here. Student B got 73 and 68, so we'll go 73 across and 68 above. Student C got 51 and 45, so 51 and 45 would be here. Student D got 62 and 68, which will be here. And the final student, which is student E, got 24 and 35. So we have successfully drawn a scatter graph with this information. Another important aspect of a scatter graph is something we will refer to as the line of best fit. So we can use scatter graphs to estimate results based upon other results. We do this by drawing a line of best fit. So a line of best fit is a straight line drawn with a ruler that goes through the middle of your points. So we want our line of best fit to go through as many points as possible. So it will go through the middle as shown above. So we have 3 to the left of it and we have 3 points to the right of it. As you can see from this line of best fit, it indicates that it is a positive correlation. For this next scatter graph, as you can see, the values are going down. So this is negative correlation. For this final scatter graph, we have no line of best fit. So if there is no correlation, you cannot draw a line of best fit. What you should also understand is when doing an estimate from a scatter graph, you must draw the line of best fit. If you do not, you will lose marks. So anytime it asks you to estimate from a scatter graph, make sure you draw the line of best fit. Let's go through another example. We have been given this scatter graph which is comparing math mark against a student's science mark. What type of correlation does the scatter graph show? As you can see, as the math mark increases, the science mark increases as well. Therefore, we would say that this has positive correlation. As you can see from the line of best fit, it is also on an incline. Therefore, this is another indication that this is positive correlation. Another student gets 60 marks on their math test. Estimate the science mark for this student. So because it says estimate and we are using a scatter graph, make sure that you include this line of best fit. All you will do then is go to the math mark, which is 60. You will draw a line straight up until it touches the line of best fit. And then you will go horizontal until you go to the science mark. As you can see, the science mark is 70. So the estimate is 70 marks. So a student who gets 60 marks on their math test, an estimate for their science mark would be 70 marks. Let's go through one final example. Again, we have been given this scatter graph, which is comparing the number of absences against the marks on an exam. What type of correlation does the scatter graph show? As you can see, once you draw a line of best fit, it is declining. So as the number of absences increases, the marks on an exam decrease. So we can say that this is a negative correlation. The number of absences of a student was 35. Estimate the marks for that period of time. So again, we'll go to where 35 is. We'll draw a line straight up until it touches the line of best fit. And then we'll go to marks on an exam. As you can see, if the number of absences is 35, an estimate for the marks for that period of time is 50. Another type of question which may occur, it says one of the values is an outlier. Circle the outlier on the graph. Now, an outlier is a value that lies outside, i.e. is much smaller or larger than most of the other values in a set of data. As you can see, this value above here is an outlier. It is much larger than most of the other values in the set of data. Therefore, all you will need to do is circle this value. Here are some questions for you to attempt. Please pause the video, have a go, and we'll go through the answers on the next slide. Hopefully you had a chance to attempt the questions. Let's go through the answers. So again, we have been given a scatter graph which is comparing math mark against a student's English mark. The table shows the test scores of two more students. So the math mark is 56 and the English mark for that specific student is 62. And the other student got a score of 73 on their math test and an English mark of 68. Show this information on the scatter graph. All you would do is you'll plot 56 against 62, which is this value over here. And you'll plot the second one, which is 73 against 68. So you go 73 along the math mark. You go up until you get to about 68, which is this value here. What type of correlation does the graph show? As you can see, as the math mark increases, so does the English mark. Therefore, we will say that this is a positive correlation. Another student scored 25 on the math test. Use the scatter graph to estimate the student's score on the English test. All you would do is you go to 25 on the maths mark. You will draw a straight line up until it touches the line of best fit, and you will go across until you get to the English mark. As you can see, this is approximately 36 marks. When you do your actual exam, you'll be given a range of where the examiner will accept the mark. So roughly anywhere between 35 and 37 marks, you should have got the answer correct. This is a summary of what we have gone through today. We have gone through what scatter graphs are, and scatter graphs are used to display two sets of data. We have gone through a positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. We have gone through a line of best fit, and a line of best fit is a straight line drawn with a ruler that goes through the middle of your points. And this is how the line of best fit will look. If it is no correlation, then we cannot draw a line of best fit. Remember, you need to include a line of best fit when estimating an answer. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. I hope you have been able to benefit, and if you have, please share with others so they can also benefit. Hopefully I'll see everyone safe and sound for the next one, and as always, take care of yourselves.